the ground, comes to Heyman. If he can get his boot to it, he does. And there's a goal for Wanneroo. Ricky Heyman off the ground has kicked a goal. Wanneroo the winners. Wanneroo have won the grand final.
The club's pretty much been my home for the last 35 years. I've been here longer than I've known my wife.
It's 2/3 of my life.
It's a place that's, made up of unreal people.
I've made a lot of good friends out of the football club and still associate with a lot of them now.
It's just a family club, and that's what footy's about.
Dave Harding, involved with the club since 1963. A lot of people most probably know me by my nickname, Cracker. So I joined the club in 64 actually, not 63. And I'll never forget the first time I first joined the club. We had our annual general meeting out at Wanneroo. And believe it or not, it was at a chicken farm.
My name's Anthony Villanova. Tony recently, but my father was Tony Villanova. I basically grew up in the footy club as a junior, as the son of a regular attendee at the games. But going back to the early days at Wanneroo, at the Wanneroo Showgrounds, the Showgrounds was a fairly unique location. And the club had struggled for years and years to win a game, let alone contemplate winning a premiership.
Yeah, it's Bob Claridge here, or Slav to most of you folks that know me, or Clara to the older ones. I first started in the club officially back in 1977, so this is basically my 50th year at the footy club. I played a couple of years actually in juniors, but that was prior to senior stuff. In my time here, played 180 odd games for the club, coached, won a couple of premierships there, been a committee man, sponsor for 20 odd years.
Yeah, Joe Fanch is my name, and my connection with the Wanneroo Footy Club came way back in 1968. I played footy with West Perth and finished in about 1965 there. Took on the coaching job of the Wickerpin Footy Club, which is in the upper grade southern competition, for 2 years, and then decided that I had enough of the travelling, which was 3 hours each way, once a week. And people used to say to me, when I got the Wanneroo coaching job, Wanneroo, that's 30 k's out, that's a long way to go. It's nothing like 300 k's. So, there was a big, even though Wanneroo was considered to be in the country, it was well and truly metro. And I was approached by Tony Villanova Senior, Ron Ronke, who had a business in Osborne Park. Murray Hamilton was a businessman in Wanneroo. And through Ron Ronke, who was a trainer at West Perth, he said to me, well, what are you going to do now that you're finished at Wickerpin? Because I knew him from the club. And I said, well, I like coaching. So he said, we're looking for a coach. And so I got the job at Wanneroo. So from there, Ron had a lot of, and Tony and Murray, they had a lot of drive. They wanted to see Wanneroo's success, because at that stage, Wanneroo Footy Club was more of people used to love to play Wanneroo out at Wanneroo because socially they had a great time.
Started really in about 1968 when Fanchi rolled up, and I was a little bit older, grown up a little bit. Played all of 1968. Got injured in the last game of the year, unfortunately.
So I was fortunate enough to be the inaugural coach to win the first premiership at Wanneroo Footy Club, and that to me is one of my prides and great times in my football career.
Still to this day, one of the best experiences of my life, and the following week is probably a better experience, because I think we went from one celebration to another. I know I went to work on Thursday morning and my boss who'd been at the game said, I think you better go home, you got the flu. So and we went straight from there back to the Osborne Park Hotel and enjoyed the rest of the day there and went to work Friday. But 1969 was a really memorable year, our first win. And to this day, I'm still pretty proud of the fact that I played in the first premiership. And I'm sure that all the other fellas that played in that game are equally as proud.
From 77 to 83, we should have won 7 flags, but unfortunately we won 6 consecutive flags. So we were full on strength. We had fellas like Peter Burton coached our league side in 78, was a state player, and Greg Brio took over from Peter Burton because Peter ended up being appointed coach at Kingsway Football Club. So we were able to attract Greg Brio, another state player and Western Australian Football League legend, and Greg coached from 79 to 82 and holds the record for 4 consecutive premierships. I sort of saw the transformation of our club from the old showgrounds in 64 up until 78 when we first moved to the clubhouse here, and from the period of 73 to right up into the 80s, and even today we're still running bingo, which is our main source of income in those days, which actually helped build this footy club we've got today. And so a lot of work and effort went into it, and I was the original bingo caller, if that's any information. So I started calling bingo after the legendary Dennis Committee. Our first bingo night was up at the showgrounds, up at Wanneroo Civic Centre, and we only attracted about 70, 80 people up there, and we thought we can't survive with this. So Dennis pulled the pin after 1 week. I took over. Second week, we had maybe 100 odd people. We thought we still can't survive. We were losing money. So we decided to drop bingo altogether. And then we sort of contemplated what we should do. And we thought, well, we'll have to come into the metro area. So we end up basing ourselves at a place called La Villa in Main Street, Osborne Park. And we went from strength to strength. I think our first night we had was probably just under 200 people. And in the end, we were attracting crowds of 400. And we were known as one of the best bingos in the metropolitan area.
G'day everyone, my name's Mike Wilden. I'm currently the treasurer of the senior club. My background is I was heavily involved in juniors, committee, vice president, president. My time here began back in 2011 when we moved down from Kalgoorlie and my son wanted to play football, and we walked in here and my wife actually said this place looks familiar, and then we looked up on the board, and her father was president in 1969 and helped build this place. His name's Ron Ronke. So from there we fell in love with Kingsway, and we've been here ever since and don't intend to go anywhere. My son's now graduated to play league. He played in the 2024 flag. So everyone hopefully knows who I am because I'm here all the time. So yeah, just love the place. Then got involved in the senior level once I finished juniors, and it's just great to see people play footy and what it means to them when they have a win, and also when they have a loss. People bond together, and it's just a place where we want everyone to be. And now the evolution with women's footy, all abilities, it truly is a club for everyone. And as once said by Rowan Brooks, it's just a family club, and that's what footy's about. So, yeah.
Hey, Rob Mitchell, current president of the footy club. This will be 8 years now as president, and couple years before that, just on general committee. When I started on the committee, obviously we had a bit of friction at the time. It's taken a few years, but we've got to a point now where we've got a good group on the committee. Can always use more volunteers.
Hi, how are you? Rob Steele. Been at the football club 45 years now. Started in 1981. Had some memorable moments. Seen a lot of successes. I think I was spoiled in the early days. I thought playing in finals was a given. I don't think I missed out on a final till might have been 86. We finished sixth, I think, and then we played finals again for the next 3 or 4 years. And I thought, God, this is what footy's about. Playing finals every year, winning more than we lost, beating Osborne Park on a couple of them, which was always great.
Hi, my name is Les Fong, and I was very, very fortunate to be part of the Wanneroo/Kingsway Football Club in a capacity as coach, but it goes a little bit further back than that. Some people might remember I did play for West Perth Football Club once upon a time, and it seems to be that West Perth Football Club had an affiliation with Wanneroo, because there were a lot of players that left West Perth and came out to play out here in Wanneroo. There were a number of coaches as well that came from West Perth, and Joe Fancy, Stephen Arnott, Bob Howard, Stuart Hillier, and fortunately my good self. And it was a fantastic experience. To reach 100 years of age as well is outstanding, and obviously these days I know they're in a different competition, but they're an exceptionally strong club and always have been. I had a lot of funny times. I had some characters in the club that made you laugh, and but I think the most important times to me were probably the 2 premierships we won. We won 1991. We went through undefeated. We were the only side, I think, ever that had achieved that in the Sunday League competition at that given point. We won the grand final. I've actually had to fudge a little bit here to remember exactly what's what. 24 goals 13 to 8 goals 5. I would suspect that might still be a winning margin at that point in time. We had games where we kicked over 30 goals on 3 occasions, which was outstanding. So just had a fantastic group of players. It's not, the coach is only as good as his cattle. That's always been my belief, and we certainly did in that year. But another pleasing thing was the 92 premiership we won. We finished 3rd on the table. We got well beat in the second semi by our nemesis at Osborne Park, which was difficult to handle. And then in that grand final, I had 8 different players to the previous year, and we were not favourites, and we were actually able to win that one by some 4 goals. So to me, personally, those 2 grand finals meant a lot to me. I enjoyed coaching here at the club. I had affiliation there after with a number of the players as well, so it continued on to the old day, or in later days where my son was playing for North Beach, actually playing against Kingsway in the amateurs. But anyway, other than that, fantastic times here, lots of laughs, lots of beers, of course, as always with football clubs, so good fun.
We went through a few lean times, and then we started to win a couple of games, and Sunday League kind of folded away. The club got rebuilt by a team in 2007, then we finally got into the amateurs. Amateurs didn't really want us, played in grand finals but never won them. And then we won a C1 grand final, went up to B grade to A grade. And since we got to A grade, we've stayed there and been very competitive over those years that we're in A grade. The 90s itself, you know, it was a bit of a hard time after those 2 premierships for a little while, but everyone rebuilt. We never struggled as such in numbers, but yeah.
All right, I'm Daniel Bazzo, otherwise known as Baz or Barrel. Been here since 1991. Over the years, I've been involved in a number of premierships, playing in 4 of them.
My name's John Bush, and I joined this club in 1980. When we came here in 78, it was Wanneroo. I don't know the year, but our second division decided to return back to the old Wanneroo showgrounds and rejoin the amateurs. And when they did, they took our jumper with them and the name Wanneroo. So when we left Sunday Footy League and went to the amateurs, we could not have Wanneroo, so we decided to be Wanneroo Kingsway, and we had to change our jumpers to the present ones. And then very smartly we said Wanneroo Kingsway. We've got no association with Wanneroo now, so they decided to become Kingsway to show that Lansdale Rockets and everything was welcome under the one roof.
ISTs were something that we look forward to, and there's, as I say, they socially, at the end of a game, the facilities weren't very salubrious in a cow shed, if you like, or in a stock shed that they used in the Wanneroo open day, where people would bring their chooks and cows and whatever to win trophies and whatever. Well, at the end of our game, we'd have a drink with the opposition, and it was always in this shed. I think, all right, I'll go one step further. I just thought of something that when we won the grand final, my son was in a bassinet, my third son, and we put the bassinet under the table that we were sitting at, which had slats and openings in between the slats. So the beer was dripping down through the slats onto my young bloke, Paul. And to this day, I believe he got his taste of beer from that time, and I think that stuck with him. And he loves his drop of beer even to this day.
You know, nights after the club closed, straight out the front door into the car park, and that was it. Barbie time. You know, the big fires would come out. Old man Bolinelli would come out with a barbecue, Italian sausages, running around in his kangaroo suit that he used to wear to all the games. You know, the boys would be in the corner playing through up. There'd be shenanigans going on around the corner with all the boys and that. You know, that sort of thing that stuck to my mind about the footy club.
People like Ron Ronke, who was the president in the year that we won the premiership. Ronk was instrumental in developing a winning attitude together with the coaches in those days. People like Brian Steele, who everyone in this football club knows. People like Murray Hamilton, who was a member of the community in those days and managed to put a lot of time in, talk a lot of people into becoming involved in the football club at the showgrounds.
Oh, I think people just would know about Golden Boot Joe Fancy, and I think Dennis Cometti was here for 1 year, I believe, as well. There was a guy by the name of Ronnie Rugged Wilson, as we called him. Ronnie was an absolute character. I'm sure he enjoyed himself here. There are a lot of West Perth guys, as I said, came out to this particular club over the years, and as I said, Colin Blabb was another one who became quite a stalwart here at the club. John Hathaway, another one.
There's Dave Harding, who was a stalwart to the club when I was there, and he's still there. So that's going back 60 odd years. Terry Robinson was I've contacted just recently, and Jeff Highway, and they particularly Jeff Highway, he's very much part of the Wanneroo Kingsway Footy Club. So there is still those, and Anthony Villanova, who was always a part of Wanneroo Footy Club. Him and his father particularly, I remember him. He was the proprietor of probably the only general store that was in Wanneroo at the time, so he was very much part of the Wanneroo district.
Been around through 2014 when we won 5 flags together.
Starting off with the integrated all abilities here, and knowing that our thirds was playing at Belmont that day, we get the phone call they won. The Colts got up. Reserve should never have beaten Ocean Reef. Turned it around for Maury. He's another gentleman that's never been premiership-wise. He's always involved with John Patterson as well. They won, and then how we opened up against Stirling, and just absolutely, it was all over at quarter time, really. It was just going to be by how much. And to see that and how the place rocked, you know, you thought when you won doubles in the Sunday League and that was great. But to see how even from the all abilities to the top, how we were all as one, it was sensational. And there was definitely a pathway for the future. And I think it just rolled the club to keep going further and want to achieve the best.
2021 amateur, first A-grade premiership, and honestly from bounce down you could see our blokes, they just wanted to win, and they ended up winning by 3 goals, which is 12-goal turnaround in 2 finals. Magnificent.
My name is Jackson Howard. I'm the lead coach of Kingsway Footy Club. Been in the position since 2023. First got down the club, I knew just a couple of people. Doltz, the coach at the time, had sort of reached out to me on several occasions about coming down and getting involved. And when I finished up my time at country footy, I took up the offer at the last minute to just after they'd won the 2021 flag, and I thought, oh yeah, it'd be a good opportunity to sort of dip my toes back into A-grade space. So after taking over in 2023, within 24 months, we'd climbed the mountain and won a flag, beating TAs down at Joondalup, and it was a super proud day for not only myself, but the playing group and the football club in general. Probably a lot of work done by less hands compared to other clubs, but one of the most satisfying days in footy that we've had down here, I'm sure. And just to now have the club as a two-time A-grade premiership winning club, having only been in the A-grade space for 10 or 11 years, it's a pretty phenomenal achievement. And yeah, after winning the 2024 flag, I was given the opportunity to coach the state footy program, which has obviously come off the back of what the work I'd done here and the players that had helped me get to that success. We've had a really good involvement of a high number of Kingsway footballers in the state program the last 2 years.
The next 100 years, I'd say that if they're probably as good as the last 100 years, I think you've got a lot of good times ahead of you.
I think they got a taste of winning premierships and they just went from strength to strength. And when you win, you attract the good players and the administration just keeps getting better.
And maybe the next 100 years we'll see another 33 premierships, who knows. But I think it was mentioned earlier on, the success of the club and how success attracts good people and good footballers to the club.
We've proven that we've gone up and haven't gone straight back down, as most clubs do. And I think that's just building more culture that we don't want to go down. And I think if you just keep working on that and you've got good culture and you've got good people, you'll see another 100.
Hopefully, the next 100 years, we can double what we've actually done now. It's been really great being part of this club.
To all the players, I highly encourage you to get around the club and volunteer, and maybe when your playing days are over, get involved in administration. It's just as rewarding as playing. You don't get the kudos that they do, but without the people off the field, you're not going to have the same rewards on the field. So encourage all players just to think about that when they finish playing.
Yeah, look, and I just think the foundations are now there. The people are in the right places to take the club forward. And, I'm really excited to see where the club goes in the next 20, 30, 40, maybe 100 years to come.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting young people involved in playing football, in particular, girls included as well, because there's ladies teams here as well. So I wish you all the best going forward for many, many years. And one day we'll have to be watching from heaven.